Hey guys, the T2 dungeons in Throne and Liberty should be coming soon. What we already know is that it's not going to drop us any new gear. Instead, it's going to put all the world boss equipment into a dungeon so you can farm it. What we also know is that it contains the armor sets and accessories, but it does not have weapons. Some very nice people have posted information on Reddit, and I just want to make sure you're not making any of these 5 mistakes while we wait. Number 1. Spending all your dimensional tokens. I have seen in some places people have been saying that you may be getting a different token for the dungeon runs. However, after looking at these screenshots and examining my game UI, I have come to the conclusion that maybe we are not getting a new token. We are potentially using the same token for both 1-star and 2-star dungeons. So at this point, I'm inclined to say, try not to spend all your dimensional tokens, and if you are able, save 1,000 or 2 just in case. A lot of us are at the point where we don't really need to run them, and we only do it to make some extra Lucent. So if that sounds like you might be able to afford just keeping these tokens, in case it is the same token we're using for T2 dungeons, and then we get to access these new loot much faster. This will give you the advantage of being able to be one of the first to produce these new gear traits. Either use them or sell it. That's up to you. Number 2. Spending Lucent on anything except your weapons. So the new dungeons don't have any weapons in their loot table. That means it is safe to upgrade your weapons for the time being, but you should pause on buying or upgrading any armor or accessories. We're about to get a lot more options in gearing up once we have access to T2 dungeons, so any non-weapon piece of gear is most likely going to drop in price. So if you don't need a piece of gear right now, or not perfectly traded, you should hold on to it and wait until the T2 dungeons are available. With that said, the third point is make sure you have geared up enough. It's not contradicting to the previous point, because if you don't have 2500 gear power, you cannot play in the new dungeons. So if you don't meet this requirement yet, make sure you get that before the dungeons are released. Otherwise, you may not be able to participate. Number 4. Not stocking up on trait conversion and trait extraction stones. When the new dungeons are released, there is going to be a wave of people dropping these new equipment and trying to put the perfect trait on them. This is likely to create a lot of demand in particular pieces of gear and a particular trait. So if you have a lot of trait conversion stones piled up, this will be a great opportunity to make some serious Lucent, because now you also have access to the new gear, and if you drop one with an undesirable trait, you can always convert it, then extract it and sell it. And finally, number 5, not doing all the contracts. So this includes the daily contracts, which gives you contract coins that is necessary for you to purchase the trait extraction stone. And also, there's the possibility of a new pouch being implemented. So similar to how we have the heroic set in the existing pouch, we may get a new pouch with a different set of gear. Now, it's only a small chance that this would happen, but I think it's worth the risk. After all, we just need to do some contracts and save up some coins. Worst case, you end up with a bunch of contract coins that you can buy trait extraction stones with. I expect we'll need a lot of it because the market is going to have huge demands for the new traits, at least for a few weeks. And then we have the dungeon contracts, which we need abyssal tokens to farm. Now the contract themselves is a good grind for gear anyway, because each of the dungeons do have a rare drop, but also completing these contracts will give you abyssal currency, which is then used to craft these chests that contains rare items. So there is a small chance that new chests will be implemented, and we should save up some abyssal currency just in case it includes the new drops as well. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and any questions or suggestions, please leave a comment. More Throne and Liberty content in my channel.